Hey guys, it's Noge Otaku. The Tamako Market series, including the love story movie, is an original work by Kyoani that I would say is not often brought to the attention of anime fans. At the surface, the series, especially the anime adaptation, seems to be just blatant otaku moe pandering, and honestly, many times it is. I mean, Kyoani is good at that, right? But it's not just a series aimed at pandering to otaku, and at its heart, it truly aspires to be a beautiful but simple love story, with a lot of effort put into it by Kyoani, director Yamada Naoko, and staff themselves. Heavy spoilers on both the series Tamako Market and its follow-up movie Tamako Love Story going forward. The premise is pretty simple. Tamako is the eldest daughter of her family who runs a mochi store in the Usagiyama shopping district and has been helping her family ever since she was young. One day she meets a talking bird named Dera Mochimachi, who comes from a faraway land to find a wife for the prince of his country. Dera, after meeting Tamako, eats way too much mochi, becomes overweight, ending up just freeloading at Tamako's home. This story is about her everyday life in the shopping district, with family, friends, and neighbors. To be frank, the appeal of the anime Tamako Market comes from the warm atmosphere that it creates. Tamako's interactions with the neighbors of her district and how everyone is so supportive of each other really paints a vivid picture of genuine, heartfelt community life. Other than that, there's not much more to the series, well besides the movie, which I'll talk about later in this video. But this is the theme that director Yamada was going for. The shopping district based off real locations in Kyoto, and the effort of reflecting people's hearts in the series is one that has to be appreciated. As director Yamada stated, when someone thinks of someone, the relationship becomes important. What I'm most attracted to is that it's never hazy. You always properly see that person and what they mean to you. There's no questioning how you feel about them. I also wanted to show the importance for Japanese people to be friendly inside. That's why the most important part of this work is depicting people's hearts. And the show presents these aspects well, some themes better than others, mostly redeeming qualities found in the follow-up movie itself. Let's get some of the gripes I have about the series out of the way first. Tamako, the heroine of the story, is your average run-of-the-mill aloof female lead, who showcases the typical tropes of moe female adolescence and doesn't really bring anything new to the table. She's kind, adorable, and the community loves her, and she loves them back. I feel like many times Kyoani themselves were confused at what kind of narrative they were trying to go for with this series. Well, as director Yamada put it, I want to touch people's hearts by showing the emotions between people, so perhaps depicting the emotions was a priority more so than a cohesive story. Anyways, it's an ordinary slice of life, but we have Tamako meeting a literal talking bird. I do not like Dera. I don't find scenes with this bird comedic, I don't find the bird's design cute, and I just felt like he was mostly annoying. But you cannot deny the fact that without him, there really would not be much personality to the show, so I understand why he was included. Says a lot about the series then. Still, don't have to like him though. Notice I did not even mention our high school friends yet. It's because they don't add much to the series, except that they are in the baton club together, minus Shiori. So we have her friends Kana, Midori, and the aforementioned Shiori. We have glimpses of character development, like when Shiori and Tamako form a friendship for the majority of one entire heartwarming episode, to her quickly becoming just a background character for the rest of the series. And the confusing lesbian narrative of Tokyo and Midori, who obviously has strong feelings for Tamako but is never really fleshed out or explored in the anime. This is in typical Kyoani fashion. Give a potential queer relationship but nope, never happens. Kumiko and Reina, anyone? Liz and the Bluebird? Although the Hibeke Euphonium series itself proves its genius through its subtleties, so I won't mark them for that. Anyways, Tamako Market. Speaking of love interest, we have Tamako's childhood friend Oji Mochizo, who is really just an ordinary character with an ordinary design. The main development here is that he has feelings for Tamako, but is unable to be upfront with his emotions, which is really never fleshed out in the series itself. Though I love the cute heartwarming scenes where he and Tamako converse through paper cup string phones. I know I'm being quite critical here, but I do actually love the series, contrary to what it may seem. It's just that I hold Kyoani works to a higher standard as they have so many great series in their lineup, especially those of director Yamada, that when one shows up that's slightly of a lower standard, I just feel like I have to explain why. Anyways, Tamako Love Story, the follow-up movie to the series, is where I think Kyoani mostly redeems this narrative. The story goes from a subpar rom-com to a more fleshed out, cute adolescent love story. The story continues with Tamako's life in her district. We see genuine character development of Tamako as she realizes everyone around her has begun to think about their future and starts to question what she herself would want to do in life. With Kana, who wants to do architectural work but has a fear of heights, Shiori, who wants to study English abroad, and Midori wanting to go to college. And we have Mochizo wanting to go to uni in Tokyo. After talking with friends, Mochizo finally grows a pair and decides to confess to Tamako, and he does so in an awkward scene where Tamako ends up running off. Where afterwards, when Tamako talks to Midori about her incident, we get a scene where Midori is upset due to her own feelings for Tamako, which could have been an amazing queer story if Kyoani decided to follow through. Oh well. But I'm finally glad that we got a more fleshed out scene where Midori was able to reveal more of her, as director Yamada calls it, very complex emotions. Anyways, through a death scare of Tamako's grandfather where it ended up that he had just choked on Mochi, Tamako and Mochizo realizes the abruptness of life and talk to each other, rescinding the rift they created when Tamako ran away earlier. And then we have an amazing Kyoani style subtlety laced ending, where Mochizo is about to get on the train to leave for Tokyo, when Tamako arrives on the platform when he's just about to depart, throwing him a pair of string phones saying, I love it. I mean, I enjoy watching the anime series as well, despite all its flaws. The art style, music, cuteness, and I'll admit some instances of genuine hilarity make a really captivating anime. And with Tamako love story, I would say that Kyoani mostly redeemed themselves with this series. And Mochizo, who goes from being just a typical bland character to realizing his feelings and actually acting on it. Such a simple premise but animated and told so beautifully as is Kyoani fashion. Despite the obvious flaws, what others may see as otaku moe pandering and the lack of true fleshed out character development, I think the series Tamako Market is still worth a watch. As screenwriter Yoshida stated, I wanted to make an absolutely pleasant series, enjoyable yet comfortable. And I can't argue with that, the series was definitely enjoyable and comfortable to watch. If not the anime, at least watch the movie, as honestly with how simple the story is, it can be standalone on its own. A lower tier Kyoani series is still higher in quality than many. As director Yamada stated about Yukiko Horiguchi, the character designer for the series, I think she's truly a prodigy. I think the way she makes her characters act is so amazing. They never get caught up in mistakes. The way she draws her hands and their actions are incredible. Her fingertips aren't useless in the slightest. I know Kyoani, director Yamada Naoko, and staff put a lot of love into this series, and you can tell when watching, through the beautiful animation and simple yet heartwarming storytelling that Kyoani is often known for. I recommend it, especially in a time where many are suffering from the lack of human connection and being isolated from others in this reality we are living in. This is a great series to feel that sort of warmth through the interactions of love, friendship, and comedy that Kyoani expertly displays in Tamako Market. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching, likes and subs, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye!